Hi, it's me, i3D Jack. I'm back to take you through Volume 2 of Production Instruction with 3ds Max 2010. This volume is going to focus around a lot of hard surface modeling of basically all kinds of stuff like furniture, little trinkets, electronics, TVs, a whole lot of things to detail our scene. We're basically going to pick up the same scene that we left off on Volume 1 of this series, and we're going to pick that one up, and we're just going to keep furnishing it, keep detailing it like crazy, and just keep working on it and make the scene look better and better and better. Okay, so the main focus again of Volume 2 is polygon modeling. We're going to be using the graphite modeling tools a lot more than we did before. Before we kind of got introduced to it, we barely used it a little bit. We used mainly the modified tab with a combination of the graphite modeling tools. Not this time. This time we're going to be focused 99% on the graphite modeling tools. We're going to look at more tools with the graphite modeling tools window. We're going to look at different types of features it has for doing all kinds of different things, because the graphite modeling tools have probably hundreds of different tools and features to use with 3ds Max when you're doing polygon modeling. Okay, so we're going to be looking at a lot of stuff like that. We're going to load a project up. The project I'm going to load up, I'm going to show you here. We're going to go up here to this little toolbar that's on the top left, the highest top left toolbar of 3ds Max's interface. And the button here on the right next to the little black arrow icon button is this little button here, which allows you to set the project folder. So I'll click on that, and then what you can do is just go ahead and select the project folder that comes with this tutorial. Okay, the README of the tutorial tells you where the project folder is, so you can find it easily. It's called Pro In 3ds Max 2010 Volume 2. And once you select that project folder, just go ahead and hit OK to load that project up. Once you have that project folder loaded up, you're pretty much ready to go, and we can get started. One last thing I want to make very important, a few little details here. Just like in the previous volume, just to remind you, and to make sure you're using the same unit setup as me, if you go up to the Customize menu and you go to Units Setup, you can see we have different options here to choose. I'm using the US standard feet with decimal inches, so make sure you select that and set the default units as feet, just to make sure that you're on the same page with me and you can follow the tutorial along a lot easier and a lot more efficiently, instead of ending up with wrong measurements and pretty much everything starts to go wrong after that. So it's very important to use the correct system of measurement before you even get started. Okay? One last thing, all my preferences are the same from the last volume, so I haven't really changed anything. So my snap settings, angle snap settings, things like that are pretty much all the same. Okay, whenever I make a change to setting, I'll show you in the video, so don't worry about it, so you won't miss a thing. Okay, and last but not least, very important, in this tutorial, since we're going to be modeling a lot of real-world objects, I went ahead and spent some time going on the internet, Google in particular, doing research and collecting reference images. Okay, so what are reference images? In case you're not familiar, you should be if you're looking at this tutorial, but if you're not, don't worry. If I go up to the rendering menu and I go to View Image File, I'm going to show you here in my Scene Assets folder, Images, I have a whole bunch of different folders I've created, and I've basically gone all over the internet and I've collected reference images, all kinds of things, everything from chairs, doors, electrical outlets, light fixtures, light switches, moldings. If you don't know what a molding is, Google it and you'll see what it is. We're going to be modeling that in this tutorial. I looked up all kinds of things, tables and all kinds of stuff, and an entertainment center, which is broken down into several folders. So like Blu-ray player, for example, if you look at this, you can see all the images here that I have of a Blu-ray player from Sony. If I go ahead and look at a few other things, I have images for HD TVs, flat screen LCD TVs and stuff like that, picture frames, entertainment center furniture to put your TV and all that stuff, and even clocks, all kinds of stuff. It's very important to collect reference images, a lot of reference image. The rule of thumb is you can never have too much reference images. So go on Google and search for reference images, high and low, before you get started. Before you even open up 3ds Max, you have to have a good directory, a good collection of reference images of what you're going to be modeling. So what are we going to be modeling? We're going to be modeling a lot of stuff. So you might want to go ahead and collect and make a list. I'm going to tell you some stuff now that we're going to be modeling this tutorial. So you might want to write this stuff down, make a little note somewhere, and just go out and get these reference images, okay? You want to look for reference images for chairs. You want to look for reference images for electrical outlets, okay? You want to look for reference images for light fixtures, very important. Let me show you what kind of light fixtures. Things like these kind of light fixtures right here, which are these lights that go inside the ceiling of the actual house in here, okay? You want to also go ahead and look for different things like light switches, moldings. You can see here what moldings are if you look at these little thumbnails here. Moldings are basically those baseboards that go on the bottom, and the moldings go on the top that connect the wall with the ceiling. When we get to that chapter in this tutorial, you get to see it more in depth, and you'll understand what it is I'm talking about. So in each chapter, I clearly explain what it is we're going to be modeling, and I show you some of my reference images so you get a good idea, okay? And if you go on Google and do some searches for these things, chances are you're going to find the same reference images that I found myself, okay? So it won't be a problem, all right? I've also looked up reference images for tables, okay, and dining room sets, so chairs, dining chairs and dining tables, things like that, coffee tables as well, and all kinds of stuff, okay? In each chapter when we model something, I'm going to be showing you what it is we're going to be modeling, so you'll be able to, pause the video, stop what you're doing, go on Google, search for reference images, collect all those reference images, download them, save them to your hard drive or whatever you want to do, and use those reference images when we go ahead and create some of this stuff, all right? So we've got DVD cases, picture frames that go on tables and hang on walls. I've even gone ahead and looked for images of bookshelves because we're going to be creating actual shelves with books, realistic books, sitting on the shelves, just lying about to make the scene look more realistic, okay? So in each chapter, again, I'll be showing you what it is we're going to model. So I would suggest pause the video, go ahead and look up and collect some reference images, and then come back and get back to work in 3ds Max. So you're probably thinking right now, well, why don't you just give me the reference images that you used? Well, for legality, lawyer, and copyright reasons, I can't just go ahead and collect images and redistribute them to you in a commercial product like this. It doesn't work that way, okay? So basically just go on Google, do searches for, say, chairs or electrical outlets. They're the same exact searches that I made. So if you go on Google and you make searches for those same exact items, you're obviously going to find the same pictures, most likely, that I have. And even if you don't, and they're pretty similar, it's still good enough. The techniques that I show you in this tutorial, in this volume, you can use those techniques to model pretty much any type of similar object. So if I model a table and you got a picture of a table that looks different, use the same techniques I teach you and you should be able to model the table in your picture even if the table is different, okay? So that's the idea, to teach you the fundamentals and teach you the advanced techniques so that you can go and model this stuff by yourself and you don't need my instruction or you don't need to follow me in order to be able to get the job done, okay? So that's very important, reference images. All right, so that's going to do it for this video here. What we're going to do is in the next video, we're going to go ahead and we're going to get started on actually working on this. We have a lot of work to do. We have a lot to get done and very little time to do it. So let's jump in there and start getting this done.